Welcome to the Positive Spiritual Living Podcast, brought to you by Unity on the Bay. This is your positive path for spiritual living.
Well, fortunately, the experience of love never changes, but everything else does. Have you noticed? True unconditional love is always in your heart. It's always there. You can always access it. But change happens in this world around us, and change is happening right now at Unity on the Bay. I personally want to keep you in touch with what's happening here. So for the next few weeks, prelude to my talk will include just discussing a little bit about what's going on as we make this transition. If you're not aware, we announced recently that the sale of this property did close, and we are in the process of moving to a temporary home just a little ways away. So you can't let this be an excuse for your not being here after we make the move to Temple, Israel. It's just 2 blocks what's that direction? West, and 2 blocks south, and you're there, okay? So with that in mind, I just want to give you a few dates. Next Sunday, we're going to have a special guest speaker, Reverend Eliza Bloom Robinson, a friend of mine from years and years and years ago. I told her that we're going through a time of change, and she promised to bring some peace and solace to you in whatever way that she can. That's next week. And then on February 21st, this is a very important announcement, and I'm not very often compelling, my friends, when it comes to the business matters of Unity on the Bay. I believe this is a community that is motivated by the grassroots and by you, our voting membership. But I'm really asking you to be in this room on Thursday evening, February 21st at 7 p.m. We have a special membership meeting. And the purpose of this meeting is to vote on an exception to our bylaws, which currently contain term limitations for people serving on the Board of Trustees of Unity on the Bay. Our current Board of Trustees is the finest group of individuals that I have ever had the honor of serving with. And many of these friends have been in service through leadership at Unity on the Bay for years and years. And for some of them, their terms are about to expire at the very moment that we are about to make this historical, unprecedented move in our history. So the purpose of this exception is to allow Board of Trustees members who, thank you God, are willing to continue their terms without the 1-year leave of absence, you could call it. They're willing to do this, my friends, and we are blessed that they are willing to do this, for it will allow us to have a continuity and a stability through this time of change. The very individuals that have been instrumental in the sale of this property and in our transition will also remain at the helm as we make this next move into our future. So I really want to encourage you to be here February 21st, 7 p.m. Let's show up for Unity on the Bay, and let's show up for our Board of Trustees. We are blessed by each and every one of them. Thank you, Eddie. And all the other members of the board, so blessed. So there, I preached a little bit on the subject I don't normally preach on, but it's very important to me, and I believe it's very important to Unity on the Bay. February 24th, Sunday, I encourage you to be here for a time to remember. I'm going to be calling up onto the platform some of our elder representatives of the community to share their memories in this location. And it'll be a great time for you to reflect on some of the great memories that you've had here as well on Sunday, February 24th. And then on March 3rd, we begin our Spirit Groups program based on the book, Finding Yourself in Transition. And here's the great thing, friends. Change, as much as we might resist it and avoid it, change is a beautiful thing if you look at it from a spiritual perspective and if you utilize the tools that are available to you to orchestrate your way through it. And that's what this book, Finding Yourself in Transition, that we'll be studying during this 6 to 7 week period together here on Sunday mornings and in groups around Miami-Dade County. It's all about. It'll give you the tools to handle not only the change we're going through here, but change in your personal life. Anybody having a little change going on anywhere at all? That's because to be alive is to be changing, right? And this is a great opportunity this morning for you to enroll in becoming a host facilitator for the Spirit Groups program. You can stop by the table in the foyer and open your home to allow us to create these cells around Miami-Dade that will help us to sort of stick together as we move through this time of change. based on this incredibly good book that will give you the tools that you need to move through life and for us to move through this change successfully. That begins on Sunday, March the 3rd. This morning, I'm going to invite to join me on the platform some individuals who have made an incredible commitment. And on one level, that commitment is to become voting members of the spiritual community of Unity on the Bay. On another very important note, they have made a decision to commit to their own spiritual growth and development and awakening. These are new members of Unity on the Bay, and I'm going to read their names to you as they come forward. Christopher Boykin, Lily Cintron, Angelica Cookson, Gina Hernandez, Shasu Hoptu, Cecilia Perez, Aaron Powell, Hector Rivera, Ileana Rodriguez, and Maria Sanchez. Please join me in blessing these amazing people. Thank you. We are so grateful for your presence here and for this commitment. And you all know very well how to bless. That is to send an energy forth, a vibration, to these individuals whom I wholeheartedly invite to receive this blessing as they receive their gift from Reverend Juan right now in this moment. We are declaring, in the name of all that is sacred and holy, the truth of your identity. You are made in the image, in the likeness of the presence and the power of the divine. For you, nothing is impossible. From this day forward, your commitment to your own spiritual awakening, evolution, and action is confirmed and affirmed by the presence of benevolence, by the presence of God that created you. We see you doing great things to make changes, to see new insights coming forth for not only your own life, but also the lives of all those you love and for the human family as a whole. We bless you in the name of Christ, and so it is. Amen. Amen. Welcome. Aren't they spectacular representatives of this place? Yes. And become members just in time to help us move through this exciting time of change. Thank you so much. Wow. All right, we're going to have a little scriptural reading this morning. Upon my bed by night, I sought him whom my soul loves. I sought him, but found him not. I called him, but he gave me no answer. I will rise now and go about the city in the streets and in the squares. I will seek him whom my soul loves. I sought him, but found him not. The watchmen found me. They saw me as I went about the city. Have you seen him whom my soul loves? Scarcely had I passed them when I found him whom my soul loves. I held him and would not let him go until I had brought him into my mother's house and into the chamber that conceived me. Is there more? I bet you never knew the scriptures were so spicy and dicey. How graceful are your feet in sandals, O queenly maiden. Your rounded thighs are like jewels, the work of a master hand. Your navel is a rounded bowl that never lacks mixed wine. Your belly is a heap of wheat encircled with lilies. Your two breasts are like two golden fawns, twins of a gazelle. Your neck is like an ivory tower. Your eyes are like pools by the gate. Your nose is like the tower of Lebanon overlooking Damascus. Your head crowns you like Carmel, and your flowing locks like purple. A king is held captive in the tresses. Whew. Woo. You're saying, oh, I never read them words in the Bible before. That's because they're in just a few pages, a little-known book called The Song of Solomon. Oh, well, yeah, she says. But they're there nonetheless, and they've been attributed to having made it into the Bible because they were all about the love of Christ for Christ's bride. However they ended up in there, to me, they reflect something that is evident now over many, 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 many decades, eons, millennia, and that is that we are still looking for people, objects out here from which we may derive a sense of our love and well-being. We're idolizing each other. And we've been conditioned into this idolization since the day we arrived on the planet. We've been told that someday my prince will come, or whatever you might call it, You're looking for love in all the wrong places. Because if you're looking out here, have you noticed something about this realm of time and space? Everything comes and everything goes. So today's love becomes tomorrow's nightmare. Have you noticed this? Well, your laughter is very telling. I gotta tell you. Have you been there? Oh, I love you. I love you. I love you. I can't live with. Oh, what the hell just happened to you? Because my prince or my princess just turned into a demon right in front of my eyes. That's because the conditioned search for love in the outer does not work. It doesn't. You can keep on. I'm going to be really honest with you this morning. It took me 50 years to get this, and I'm still getting it. But at least I'm starting to get it. Because you keep going back, don't you? A little bit like a line of cocaine. I'm sorry, I know I'm a little cynical sometimes, but I've had experience with both, and neither one of them will take you where you want to go. Good morning and welcome to True Confessions at Unity on the Bay. I'm in this with you, friends. I'm just saying, if you're looking for love, if you're looking for fulfillment in anything that you can touch, smell, taste, it's going to be short-lived. And in fact, at the end of the day, you're probably going to end up with a level of regret if you haven't first learned to find love somewhere else, which is why we're in this room this morning. Now, the reason I know that this myth of love has continued for so long, the objectification of love in people and circumstances, things outside of us, is because of a very recent lyric to a song that some of you may recall. Well, I've spent a lifetime looking for you. Singles bars and good times lovers were never true. Playing a fool's game, hoping to win, and telling those sweet lies and losing again. I was looking for love in all the wrong places, looking for love in too many faces, searching their eyes and looking for traces of what I was dreaming of. Hoping to find a friend and a lover, I bless the day that I discover another heart that's also looking for love, and I was alone then, no love in sight, and I did everything I could to get me through the night. I don't know where it started or where it might end. I turned to a stranger just like a friend. So, in the event that you may be looking for love this morning, and most of us are, if we're really honest, my encouragement is for you to cease the endless battle to try to find that love in something outside of you and realize that you are that love. And I know sometimes we talk about, I love and accept myself exactly as I am. But I'm going to say it again this morning. Are you really loving and accepting yourself just the way you are? Because I guarantee you this. There is nobody and no thing more worthy of your love than the presence of love that dwells within you. And once you realize that, an amazing thing starts to happen. You start to radiate this love because you found it inside of yourself, and it's so immense and so overwhelming that it starts spilling out all over the place. And all of a sudden, everybody wants to be your lover. You think, well, that could be a little overwhelming. Not really, because they would want to be your lover in the truest and deepest sense of the word. They would want for you to see the truth of who you are so that they could reflect it in themselves. And this is the way we change the world. We start to make the choice for love, and we start to then see love and experience love and feel love and taste love all over the place. Now, I'll be honest with you this morning, I haven't had a significant other in my life for a very long time. And that's because I have hundreds of them. Really, I have hundreds of them. As I continue to recognize this deep, overwhelming love that dwells within me, I'm not looking for love out here anymore. If it shows up, that's great, but I know that I'm not looking. What I need, the love that I need, is not out here, it's in here. And as I recognize that, this sense of peace comes over me, and I just find I'm a little bit better of a person to be around. Because I'm not going, oh my God, can you love me? Can you love me? And if you do say yes, may I please grab you and package you and take you home with me and then get you to do everything I want you to do so that the sense of love I feel for you is maintained. This is not love. This is possession. This is jail. Oh, I don't know if it's the fact that we're moving and I don't have to worry about my reputation anymore. Here's Byron Katie on the subject of love songs. She says, all love songs make sense if we remember what it is that we truly love. If the you of a song is another person, then the song is a lie. It has to be, because we can never find our completion in another person. I'm sorry, it's just the way it is. You'll never find completion in another person. You'll never find completion in anybody or anything outside of you, and the reason is you are not incomplete in the first place. It always comes back to us. So when we put God in the you of these songs, we see how true they all are. Every love song is written for God, by God. For God, by God. And then a few years later, another love song hits the scene. Linda Creed, Michael Masser, also known as Whitney Houston. Learning to love yourself is the greatest love of all. Learning to love yourself, and I'm talking about the self, the truth of your identity. Learning to love yourself in the manner in which God created you is the greatest love of all. And once you have it, the search ends. The contentment arrives. And it doesn't matter anymore what's going on out here. You know who you are. And you recognize that you were not born inept or incomplete. You are a complete individual. And wow, the moment that you realize you're a complete individual, you will begin to attract other completed individuals. And there is nothing so sweet as two individuals who are complete in themselves coming together to share in that completion together with no chains, with no ties of obligation or heavy responsibility. They're in each other's presence. Why? Because they want to be. They like it. I enjoy this. It's a good thing. All right, here's your Valentine from me this morning, and you may or may not like this, so just know it's sent forth with love. This is a quotation from Paul Farini, a profound author, especially on the subjects of spiritual relationship. He says, the only way to avoid the destruction of a relationship is to take direct responsibility for the thoughts and feelings that arise from the depths of our psyche and hold our partner harmless. When we can own our own internal struggle and refrain from projecting the responsibility for our pain onto our partner then becomes our greatest teacher. You see, if you're running around with a long list of expectations, oftentimes hidden, I might add, and then you're frustrated and driven out of a state of unconditional love every time somebody doesn't show up the way you think they should, it's hopeless. It's inevitable that the relationship will struggle and ultimately end in demise. But when you begin to realize that we are all in each other's lives to serve as magnificent mirrors of every aspect of our inner psyche. So if there's something I don't like in you out here, behaviorally, or something you say or do or whatever it might be, if there's something out here that I don't like, my first response needs to be, thank you for reflecting an aspect of myself that I am unaware of. You see, our unconscious minds get projected onto this cast of characters out here, and if we think the problem is with them, we are indeed in trouble. Instead, we can say, thank you for pointing out an unrevealed, unconscious aspect of my own identity that I was completely unaware of. I will not project it out onto you and hold you responsible for my happiness. I will realize the most valuable thing I can ever say to somebody that I love is this: I do not need you for my happiness. And what happens to the early love tales and fables of someday my prince or princess will come? Someday somebody will come deliver this to me. No, my friends, you must deliver it to yourself. You must deliver it to yourself. It's just the way it unfolds. And it does best in something I've discussed with you up here before called, take another breath, agenda-free rapport. Can you say that with me? Agenda-free rapport. We often punish others for not meeting expectations they do not even know exist. An agenda-free rapport ensures that we are engaged purely to enjoy their presence without needing them to fulfill an image we have designed for them. And friends, we pick this up whether we're conscious fully of it or not. We pick it up. We pick it up when someone approaches us from a position of neediness. And it feels kind of sticky and uncomfortable, and we don't even know what this is really all about. It's like, for some reason, we find ourselves rejecting another person who might be coming to us in a state of need. That is because on some level we understand that they are trying to get something from us that they can only get from themselves. And that the true purpose of holy relationship in this life is to come together free of agenda. I'm not here for any other reason save I love being in your presence. Now just imagine the depth and the profound impact of relationships coming from that space. And then we know that nobody's ever with us out of a sense of obligation because we're mutual in this agenda-free rapport. I'm here because I want to hang out with you. And I'll tell you, if you have friends like this, ooh, doggies, you want to hang out with them as often as possible because you love the fact that the rapport is relaxed, it's easygoing, it's light. And this is what we are. Relaxed, easygoing, and light is our natural identity. So we like relationships that allow us to be able to experience that, don't we? Wrapping up that lyric, I was looking for love in all the wrong places, looking for love in too many faces, searching their eyes and looking for traces of what I'm dreaming of. In the last stanza, now that I found a friend and a lover, I bless the day I discovered you, oh, you. The one you've been looking for is beyond even sitting in your own lap. It's you. It's you. So, my encouragement to you this morning as we move into Valentine's Day week is to fall in love with the divine that is within you. To fall in love with all the beauty and the peace and the poise and the richness of this relationship. It's the one you've been looking for all of your life. Fall in love with your true self, and then, if you must, take somebody out to dinner. Happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you, Reverend Chris, for that. How many of you are ready to go buy his album of love songs? It could be the spoken word edition. Okay, so if you are in love with Unity on the Bay, this is your time to give back to your community. So we would love for you to consider if this message and the music that you heard today has spiritually fed you, and you can help us to make this place continue to prosper and grow. So at this moment, there's in front of you some giving envelopes. If you choose to fill them out, put something in them. You could also go green and text to the number on the screen. So you're going to text UOTB to 23256. Now, we believe that this is a sacred demonstration of your prosperity, so we'd like to give you a few moments of silence in order to prepare your gift. Okay, so we thank you for your gifts. Let's bless these gifts together. Divine love that I am blesses all that I give and all that I receive.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Positive Spiritual Living Podcast, brought to you by Unity on the Bay, a spiritual community located in Miami, Florida. Unity on the Bay is supported by the generosity of its community. If you'd like to make a donation or learn more about Unity on the Bay, please visit unityonthebay.org. You can also follow Unity on the Bay on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for even more positive spiritual inspiration. Until next time, thanks for listening and many blessings. Namaste.